Hi guys. Well, as you know, um, these clusters from the E46 BMW tend to fail after like 20 years. So in this video we want to see how to fix these problems. Actually, I will show you also some of the problems I got before the cluster stopped working, and it's quite simple to fix. So I will show you now which kind of tools we need to fix it. So we need some screwdrivers and stuff, some pliers, nothing really important. You need to have Torx, because the cluster is fixed with Torx screws. You will need two different kinds of capacitors from 15 volts and 47 microfarads and 220 microfarads, a multimeter, and some and solder, and that's all you need. So let's start with the fixing. But before starting with the fixing process, I want to show you what actually happened with the dashboard, which points that someone was not going great, you know. The first thing was the backlight of the temperature. It just started flickering, and after a while just stopped. That was the first sign. The second sign, which happened not quite often but once in a while, is that when I turn on the car, this is the central display, it seems like something was wrong with the numbers. You know that, like Chinese letters and stuff, you know, the numbers were not designed well. That was the second thing that was quite wrong. And afterwards the temperature started going off, you know, the middle. The car didn't overheat because I measured with the OBC, but the arrow tend to the upper part or the lower part. Actually, sometimes it remains in some weird stuff like here or here, and that was it. After a while, the cluster stopped working, and nothing was working at all. So that was what happened. Okay, so on the opposite part we have 4 T10s. We're going to unscrew now. First is off. Second. Okay, and we pull the cap off. Let's leave this aside. Okay, and this is the board. Now we pull the board out of the cluster. We need to push these buttons off, and that's it. Okay, let's take those little panels off, and then I can recall how to pull this off. Oh, wait, you just need to pull it off, and that's the first step. Now what we going to do is to take off all the needles of the cluster. So the technique that we found that it could work, it was like using a fork and the end of a spoon, you know, like this, and pulling out. Unfortunately, I broke one of the servos, Fortunately, I have a spare cluster, so I can use the servos from the other one, but this is not the great. But I want to still trying to open this in this way, because the other cluster opened without any problems using this technique. So let's give it a try. That's not the sound I wanted to hear. I don't know if it's breaking or it's just moving out. It's hard to tell. I think it's breaking like the other one. I think it broke. It feels really the cap is soft, but it's really hard, so it's most probably broken, and that's it. Let's see. Oh, okay, so it come off, but again, with the axis, this is not a good thing. I think it's broken, but I don't know. What if I put it again? No, it's not working well. This is broken too. Let's see if we can put it off. Yes, it eventually comes off, but it's really stuck, so almost impossible to take it off without breaking anything. So using the same technique, I managed to pull off all the smaller ones without any problems, so it worked with those. I just pry and pull a little bit before I put the fork, but it was the same thing that I did with the others. With this one, once it worked, but I think I broke these two ones. Well, the next step is to take off this part with the transparent plastic in it. And okay, this part is done, so we go to the other side. Now what we need to do is to release the LCD display by pushing these levers here and pushing it down. And now we can remove the board. This is the LCD, and here is the board. As you can see here, there's plenty of burned tracks that we need to analyze. All this area is very problematic because these capacitors then blow up and just burn everything. You can see there how everything is burned. Maybe we can have some pictures then of that, but what we're gonna do now is to assess all the broken tracks. It's quite easy because it's just a double layer board, so you can see through the light and find where the tracks are and make some bridges on the broken tracks, change these three capacitors, which are the problematic ones, and that should be by the way, I need to change fix these two servo motors here. So what we're gonna do now is to remove these 3 capacitors. So here's Pablo helping me. So we wanna unweld these 3. Okay. 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 First one is off. This one. Okay. Second one is off. Third one is here. Okay. Okay. Ok. L'ultima parte della. Good, so they are all 3 off. So now there is a lot of room without the capacitors, and we can see the damage in that area. That's the part that we'll need to fix. We'll need to clean that a little bit, and what we're gonna do is to test each one of these points with the other side and to see if we have continuity between them, and if not, we need to do a bridge. So we have a nice example here. If we put our tester in this pin, which corresponds with the burn one on the other side, and we test continuity, even if, sorry, I don't know if you see that, even if it's burned, there is some continuity. But if I test this pin, I have not continuity there, so this part of the track is broken, not the through hole. Actually, if I measure continuity here, here, which is the other part of the track, it has continuity, so I can check that this part of the track is burned. So we managed to fix all the broken tracks, as you can see here from this side. Now we're going to check the other side, which it may have potentially broken tracks also. So even if it is everything black, as you can see here and there, is quite burned out. The only track burned was this one, which is completely in agreement with what I saw before, because the first thing that stopped working was the temperature gauge, and this is where the temperature gauge is. So that explains why it didn't work anymore. Now we wanna take off this and this servo, which is the ones that I broke when I was unmounting the cluster. So now we're going to install the new capacitors, and as you can see, the original ones are like larger than the new ones, and these were 35 volts, and I will install 15 volts, so we can have some margin, knowing that this thing tend to blow up everything. So let's start charging this. Let's start changing this. So the new capacitors are mounted, already in place, and the tracks are fixed in both sides. Now I need to install the new servo motors. So before I start working with the cluster, I brought a second one just to know how to fix it. You can see here all the fixings that we made on the previous board. So what we are going to do now is just to remove these steppers and use it on my old cluster. Okay guys, a very important thing when you're reassembling the LCD is that the notch, I don't know if you can see, it's like there, needs to go to the right part of the LCD. Before I test the already fixed cluster, this is the board from where we took off the stepper motors, and in the meantime I ordered new ones from eBay. I will put the link on the description, and actually I will put also the datasheet that I found, and here they are. So what I'm going to do now is just to put it on the old cluster and test it, because I already made the bridges here to fix the problem that this board had. And before I install the stepper motors, a very important thing that I noticed is that, as you can see here, sometimes the tracks just in this part, the tracks just went away, it's completely broken, and the servo motors go this way. So I need to figure out how I can connect this pin to that line. Maybe I can use a bridge from the other side to reach there, but I need to consider this problem before I weld the new stepper motor on. Okay guys, so I already put the dashboard, and when I connect the battery I heard some noises here, which is good, but this means that the dashboard is activated. Now I'm going to try it. Okay, everything light up and it works. Let's check the lights. Good. The intensity, perfect. Okay guys, so that's it. Okay guys, the last check is that the temperature is now rising, so the gauge is working, and that's it. Everything's working fine. I forgot, The only thing that I need to fix is those lights, but this is not a problem of the cluster, it's just a problem of the wiring, so I need to check that. So guys, thank you very much for watching the video. See you next time.